All right, and I think we should be live. Welcome to season 2, episode 16 of the Four Guys with Quarters podcast. Sorry for the delays. The last lightning storm did something to my webcam, so Forkboy gave me some tips, and it seemed to have worked, except it's not working in Discord, but it's working in OBS, so you guys can see me in an odd shaped picture compared to Forkboy and ZPCIAssassin. But that's okay. I mean, they are the sexy members of today's panel. And we got the awesome voice of UK Dazzers, but first, before we introduce everybody, real quick, just want to go over the topics. We'll be discussing a little bit of Marvel's Avengers, a little bit about the TikTok, possible deal, maybe not happen. DualShock 5, Twitch Prime is changing to Prime Gaming. Wasn't supposed to be leaked, but PC Gamer leaked it anyway, apparently. And talk about some excitement of Suicide Squad, and maybe if we have time, Assassin can talk about some of the Call of Duty stuff, shenanigans that's going on over there in Activision. Well, without further ado, I'd like to start out welcoming our guest, the amazing, the talented, the one and only Forkboy, the master of comedy, the magician of Twitter, and what's another word for master besides, since I said it already, Forkboy? Is there another one?
Hey, I can tell you why your thing isn't working in Discord. Your camera can't work in two devices.
Yep.
Anyways, what's the difference? Forkboy. That's another name for it.
Okay. The Forkboy of WoW Gaming, Forkboy Gaming himself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to be here. Glad to be part of Four Guys with Quarters. Excited to go over some of the topics. Really excited to touch that Avengers topic.
Oh boy.
Because wow, has there been a whole bunch of stuff on Twitter about it. But excited to be here. Excited to go over some of the stuff we have to talk about, TikTok, Avengers, and some other stuff. So can't wait to get into it. And hopefully you guys are excited too. Because no one's here I can touch. So I got to do stuff with my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you got Daz next to you. You just can't see him. He's invisible.
Yeah, just feel around. You'll find it.
Well,
feel around, I'll find it.
Daz, I mean, I want to introduce you by your sexy, well-known, real proper British voice over there. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not a lot, mate. Still in recovery, obviously. You know what I mean? But I'm doing a lot better. So I've just booked another 3 months off sick. So hopefully by then, I'm hoping to be back at fucking work. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, glad to hear that you're with us and that you're recovering one step at a time from that stroke that you had, which really took you out.
Scary shit. Yeah, might not have fucking been with you. But yeah, we're all good. Still alive and kicking, so back on.
Awesome. Yeah. And then we have the guy who's never missed an episode, who has the best face of Wisconsin on Twitch going right now. Everybody knows who he is. It's the superstar, one and only ZPCIAssassin. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
That's all you get. That's it. You just get a hi.
Yep, that's all you get. But I don't. Yeah. I mean, there's a big storm going on. I don't know how long I'll be here. Or might go out.
Okay. Well, real quick before we get into topics, I want to give a huge shout out to John Technofabulous, who donated $20 to Four Guys with Quarters today.
He said I could have it.
Just want to thank him very much. We really, really appreciate that. Well, the next thing I want to go into is, of course, the Avengers topic. I mean, it's really been a hot topic lately, right? So real quick, just a rundown on this is that PlayStation locked exclusivity with the Spider-Man character in Marvel's Avengers. Plus, they're going to do PS Plus, like an exclusive thing for it as well. And now, on top of that, Verizon's going to have special skins for Verizon Up customers, and Virgin Mobile is going to have special skins for Virgin customers. And the picture that I'm showing right now is for the Virgin characters with the Hulk with the gold chains, which I think is really cool. So if you have a Virgin Mobile phone and you want to give me that code, just feel free to pass it on over here, because I want my Hulk to look like that little tough thug over there. Well, Forkboy, you said you had some really good stuff to say about this, so I want to bring you into the topic first. So everybody on the panel has a chance to bounce back from all the epicness that you're about to say. So, how do you feel about this?
Okay, so I don't know about epicness I'm about to say, but more of epicness I'm about to drop. Earlier this week we covered on Gaming Beyond the Box. Somebody had compared Avengers to Anthem, and you don't ever want to be compared to Anthem. And they tried to spin it to where how Anthem had, suits and it was flying and it was awesome and all that. But the moment anybody hears Anthem, they don't think of that. They think of how badly we all bought it thinking we're going to get something and now they're redoing it. So that to me was not great. And then from the PlayStation beta stuff that's come out, someone actually did a video showing on a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation, and another one of how many frames you're getting, which it seems to be, mind you, it is beta. It is beta, so sometimes beta's locked down, but about 25 frames per second and whatnot. I mean, I've been hesitant since I first saw the very first thing. It just didn't do it for me. It was kind of like, okay, it looks all right. It's not where I'm like, wow, I got to play that. That looks very awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on it. So for me, it looks cool. I don't like the exclusivity deals. It's bad enough that PlayStation has Spider-Man, but I get that the fact that Sony has pretty much Spider-Man on lockdown. I get it. No big deal. It's part of the business. But now you have Virgin getting in and Verizon. And I mean, all these companies are trying to get anything they can so they can do it. But in a way, it also shows how badly they're willing to. I mean, I don't know who makes the game. Marvel. It's Square Enix, isn't it?
Square Enix publishes, and I think Crystal Dynamics developed it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like they're willing to sell their soul to anybody. It's like, hey, we'll make skins for you, just give us money. And it's like, to me, it just doesn't look right. To me, I mean, that's just my opinion. It doesn't scream it's a good thing. It's like they're willing to sell anything they can to make extra money. So, I don't know. I seem leery. I don't like it. It's bad enough when one company does it, which I get why Xbox and PlayStation do it, but when you have so many companies now doing it, it screams, hey, we're willing to try to make as much money as we can while we can type thing. So, and that's my opinion. It's nobody else's. I don't have any evidence or anything else. It doesn't make me feel comfortable.
No, yeah, I can hear that concern. And I mean, we've seen things like this with Twitch Prime as well. That have some things like this. So it kind of makes me weary of the future of the game, like if they think it's going to be a success or not, because obviously all these companies are paying money to get some type of exclusivity in there. So it's just a lot of things all at once jumping into this game, and it's like right off the bat. And that's a little bit of a concerning sign because everybody has different skins. It's not like, hey, you got a cell phone provider, you might get the same skins as a Virgin or Verizon or maybe future T-Mobile. It's like everybody's got their own thing going on in this game. Assassin, what do you think about this?
Didn't Destiny pull the same thing? I swear there was like, at your Verizon, you got a Sparrow, PlayStation Plus PlayStation General got more strikes and MP maps and armor and guns and all this other stuff. I mean, it's shitty for everyone else, but yeah, it's very greedy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they did do it. Destiny did. I don't know if it was Destiny 1 or 2, but they did do where if you had this, you get this. It wasn't as rampant as this is, though. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like the person's like, hey, there's a hole in the boat. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to make as much money as I can before everybody else finds out this is sinking type thing. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. That's my biggest concern about it.
Right.
Daz, any thoughts on this? Oh, I'm sorry, Forkboy, go ahead.
No, I already pre-ordered it, so.
I don't give a shit, clowns, to be honest.
You don't care much about anything.
All I can play is racing games at the moment, so I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, if this was let's say if this was a racing game, right? And let's say it was like the next Forza, and all of a sudden, if you got Verizon, you got one skin. If you got T-Mobile, you got another. Would you care about something like that, Daz, or you just wouldn't care either?
No, I just move on how it drives. I don't care what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Okay, I hear you. I did play some of the beta over the weekend. Have you played it, Forkboy?
No, I don't have a PlayStation, so I didn't play it. I only got to watch it. And everybody that I knew personally that had it, I didn't know that you were playing it, otherwise I'd bugged you. But everybody that I knew personally didn't get in or didn't get it yet. So I will be testing it out this next weekend. Also looking to make sure there's no NDAs or anything, so I can stream it. So, but I mean, what are your thoughts on it? You actually had hands-on with the PlayStation, where I only saw video, and sometimes video can be doctored, but you had hands-on.
So, okay, there were some issues with this, but I love the game. So I'm gonna go off the fact that I love the game first, right? I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm sure Leo is as well because we both like comic books. Huge Marvel fan. I think the characters, when you look at the characters in the game, they're very detailed. The only thing that throws me off a little bit is the faces because it doesn't mimic like the comic book faces that I'm used to or the movie faces. It was like almost like Crystal Dynamics' own take on what the characters should look like. I guess they're re-imaging of the characters, which I mean, they have creative rights to it, so why not, right? It's their game, so can't complain there. I love the gameplay. Like, there's an initial story that you get into, and the story is really cool. The different areas that you go to, the fights that take place, every character has their own like skills and fighting mechanics is completely different for each character. And then each character's got like 3 different special moves, so that's really cool too. It's not like, it's not like the same thing over and over. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's repetitive." Well, it's repetitive maybe if you play the same character over and over, of course, but it's no more than repetitive than playing Spider-Man on PS4 or playing the Batman games in the fighting mechanics. Now the big issue on this game that I got into is when I got to the war table in the beta and I needed to find a match to go ahead and complete these like Destiny-like strike missions, as you would call them. But guess what? Like in the beta, they had problems connecting to people. So I got connection failed like 7 times, never actually ever connected to another individual. And then I had to turn off matchmaking and play solo in these strike missions, but I was able to take like a companion, like an NPC companion. And I'm sure when all of them are unlocked, you'll be able to choose, from all 4 different slots for the missions. So that was the biggest issue there. Another great thing about this game, though, that I really like, Forkboy, is the fact that there is loot to this game, right? And it's kind of like, in a sense, it's a mix of like Anthem and Destiny. There's epic loot, there's legendary, all different kinds of loot. There's nameplates, all that kind of stuff to customize, different skins that you can get. And throughout the strike mission, I found like maybe like it feels like 10 different loot boxes, and it feels like the chances of good loot dropping are favorable. Like it's not like you're gonna get too much good loot, but it's not like you're not gonna get any good loot and you're gonna have to farm, for 24 hours straight just to get one drop. It feels like there's a good balance on the RNG in this game. And different loot is geared towards different types of stats. So like if enemies, let's say, have like flame, right? You might have flame resistant loot, or if they have ice, you might have ice resistant loot, and you could change your loot between missions depending on the mission that you're going to. So I thought that was really cool. The bad thing that I've seen on Twitter is that my friend Al, Alcoholics Cat, he's saying that the PS4 beta was 24 frames per second. Now, I didn't have it in 4K mode, I had it in performance mode. And I'm not really good at judging frames because I'm used to like 30 frames per second on console anyway. So for PC players, they're probably going to see like a huge difference in this. I didn't feel like it was 24 frames per second, but he claims that there's evidence out there that suggests that. So if people are concerned about frame rates, that's one thing to look at, and hopefully by the time the game is retail release, it will be patched and fixed.
I mean, is there a game that PlayStation has that runs 4K at 60 frames? I mean, I don't know for sure. This is a valid question that I'm throwing out there. I mean, if there is, awesome, but I know one of the reasons why Destiny 2 runs at 30 frames per second is because PlayStation 4 cannot run it at 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. So that's why the Xbox One X is held back. Because like if you watch Destiny 2, I mean, I use that because a lot of people love it. on stream by Glad or somebody else, and they're running at 60 frames per second, it looks like a totally different game because of how smooth, fast, and everything moves. To me, I would rather have a 1080p game running at 60 frames per second than a 4K running at 20 or 30 frames per second. It looks better. It runs better. Just give people 60 frames, because when you start getting a bunch of stuff going on, your frames always dip a little bit, and it's better to dip from 60 down than from 30 down.
Gotcha.
So,
I mean,
that's
makes sense.
That's my opinion. I know some people are graphic whores. They want 4K no matter what, and that's fine. I mean, believe it or not, you can run 1080p and your TV will upscale it from there, and it won't be true 4K, but it'll be pretty still looking. So I don't know. That's my opinion. I mean, listen to what you said and everything. I like the fact that there's loot out there. I like the fact that there's not so much loot that you don't need to go back. Me personally, I don't mind replaying missions. Fastback had talked about that he liked Anthem, and I played a lot of Anthem. I'm a little upset at Anthem because I dove hard into the game. I gave a lot of it away, and I played a lot of it, but I'm upset because we kind of got duped into it. But at the same time, I love the flying. I love the gunplay. I don't mind doing missions over again if I know that I can get loot out of it. I don't want to do a mission on Iron Man and constantly keep getting loot for other people. If I'm on Iron Man, I want loot for my guy only. If I play my other guys, then that's cool. But I don't want to have to keep playing the same mission just to get loot for like Hulk. And if I'm on Hulk, I want Hulk stuff. If I'm on Iron Man, I want Iron Man stuff. If I got to play the same mission 5 times, hey, that's fine. Because guess what? Like you said, if you know that I don't know the missions whatsoever, so I'm just throwing them out there. If you know the New York mission has a bunch of fire, then you know, hey, look, the Florida mission has a bunch of fire gear that we can get. And so, yeah, to me, that seems kind of interesting. You can build builds around different things to where you can actually make your guy better for certain missions and whatnot. So me, I like that. I like the idea that you are constantly chasing loot to make the guy the way that you want. That, to me, has a bunch of replayability and functionality, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm long-winded.
That's okay. And like you said, there's replayability to the missions because in the beta, the mission that I did, it was on normal. So I assume there's like a difficult version. I assume there's probably an easy version of the mission just to try to get different kinds of loot. So I assume that's going to be there in the final release. I didn't get past I didn't complete the one mission though before the beta ended, because on the last days when I figured out I could turn matchmaking off just to get into it. So that was a little bit disappointing, but they got the feedback and hopefully they roll with it and get it working the way it needs to be. And because I did have some mysterious PlayStation credit on my account that I don't know how it got there, I was able to get the $80 edition. Because somehow PlayStation gave me $60, so I was like kind of happy.
There you go.
Fuck it, I'll switch into PlayStation and just giving me money randomly. Fuck it.
Watch 3 months from now, they send me an email like, "Oh, we accidentally credited your account, so we're gonna debit you now." But Assassin, any thoughts on this game? Have you seen anything?
I've seen a little. I literally have like no interest in the game. And if somehow I get it, I'll play it, but I don't know. Doesn't seem interesting.
Daz, you interested in this game?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm about as interested as Sassy's.
Okay.
Nope.
Sounds good. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are very interested in this, right? Everybody wants Microsoft to purchase TikTok.
Really?
Forkboy shaking his head no, like, this is a bad idea, guys. Just don't do it.
I don't think anyone gives a fuck about that either, Clownz.
I don't get involved in other people's money, but I hope to God they don't do that, because just buy something else. TikTok is cool and everything, but just buy something else. I mean, I know it's a big, huge thing. People are loving it, but with the fact that there's been concerns about security, the fact that I guess people have said that their microphone stays on like Facebook. Guess what? Every time you load up Facebook and you talk to your wife, hey, we need to really get ... And then you open up your Facebook and you're scrolling and there's Amazon ads. How do you think those Amazon ads got there? They're your Facebook ads listening to you. So, I mean, Yeah, I don't know. I have enough apps that listen to me. I don't need other apps that listen to me. Might go bad. Real bad.
Assassin, any thoughts on this? I know that you're probably like a big TikTok star in your home state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm, the biggest, star. Go somewhere and everyone notices me. No, but I do like TikTok. But at this point, I'd rather have Microsoft make their own or something. Get rid of that TikTok, backlash and all that other stuff, and it's create a good competitor at this point.
Any thoughts
Bring
for you,
back
Des?
Vine.
I've never used TikTok, so it means shit to me, clowns.
Okay. Well, I mean, pretty much the advice on the panel is no. I did talk to Wilmy about this, I think, on Game Beyond the Box a little bit, and in some DMs, I believe. But, the kind of sentiment that I had on this is that I personally could care less if Microsoft buys TikTok, but I do think, in one sense, that it could be beneficial if they found a way to incorporate it properly into the dashboard for this generation of kids who love this thing, and they can upload game clips, or like if they're on Destiny with Assassin, they want to do those crazy dance emotes, and then they play it to songs on TikTok and they upload it, and bam, all of a sudden it becomes, a hot sensation for a couple seconds of a clip. But at the same time, if there's spyware code built into that thing and there's ad tracking and all that kind of stuff, I definitely would not want that on my dashboard. That's just my personal opinion. So it's a mixed thing for me on how this was to play out. I know that Instagram rolled out Reels, and a Forkboy might be looking at Reels right now to see if Assassin's, shaking his boogie on there.
Well,
yeah,
we don't want to see that shit.
That's
I don't
like,
even
no.
want to see that.
But I guess pretty much everybody thinks TikTok is kind of trashy, as Indie Gamer put it in the chat. And Bearded Batman stopped by to say, "What up, gents?" So Assassin's no longer Batman. I'm glad to hear that. Wisconsin is once again safe.
It is Bearded Batman, because I'm Batman, I'm a UK batterist, for fuck's sake.
You're the
like
UK.
clowns.
You're the UK.
UK
Batman.
UK batterist, clowns.
UK.
I've even got the logo.
You understand that, Assassin? What he said?
Well, there is a city in Wisconsin called Gotham. I would just like to point that out there.
But do you live in it?
No. This is my vacation home. Got the Batcave over there. I mean,
Fair enough.
no Batcave over there. Just didn't hear that.
Sanity, that is a thought that I never want to hear in my head again.
Naked Batman.
I'm sad I even read it.
Yeah. Well, just to move along the topics here, since we did start late, there's a lot of controversy with the DualShock 5 coming out, right? There's people upset on both sides. People that don't even own a PlayStation are upset over this, because they got a lot of time to think about it. And the fact that DualShock 5 is the only controller that's going to work with PS5 games, unlike the DualShock 4, which will only work with backwards compatible PS4 games on the PlayStation 5, you can't take your DualShock 4s over to the new system. However, with Microsoft's Xbox, you can take your Xbox One controller over to the next Xbox generation of hardware. And Microsoft claims that they invested $100 million into haptic feedback and all this accessibility into their controllers, and that's the reason why theirs are forward-thinking controllers in a sense. And PlayStation's like, nope, new games, new controller. I understand PlayStation's business sense, right? I mean, it's all a business move. And companies have to be capitalists to maintain their business and maintain their employees and pay everybody on the payroll. I get that. But in one sense, if you think about it like this, you can get a next generation Xbox One game that's a multi-plat, right? Say like, oh no, just throwing this out there, Dying Light 2, let's say. And your Xbox One controller is going to work fine on that game. But your DualShock 4 is not going to work fine on that game on PlayStation 5, even though Xbox hardware will. And it's pretty much the same button layout, triggers, all that stuff. So, Forkboy, I know that you think a lot about this kind of stuff, and I wanted to go to you real quick. How do you feel about this? And is this something that you're gonna lose sleep over at night, have nightmares, throw some things at the window?
No. Okay, so here's my thing. We've been playing PlayStation and Xbox, what, 15, 16 years? I mean, I don't know the exact dates, but I mean, we've been playing a while. We've gone through 4 generations, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One. Now we're about to have the Xbox One X. That's for the 4th generation. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. But look, every time you have to buy a new controller. So this is nothing new. If you want a PlayStation, you're going to have to then use the PlayStation 5. Your PlayStation 4 will only work for backwards compatible games, which I'll be honest, you should be happy they even did that. So the fact they did that, you should be happy that it works that way. But guess what? PlayStation 5 games will be using different things on the PlayStation 5 that maybe they haven't talked about yet. You can blow into the controller and it moves the boat on that one game. Your DualShock 4 cannot do that. So get over it. Be happy that they're actually trying to do stuff so we can actually, get further in life and actually get better games, better stuff. They're moving forward. They're actually making your DualShock better. So, I mean, enjoy it. Be happy. We have actually a system that they're actually trying to do something different. Now, if you're going to bitch and complain about the fact you can't take your controller, then buy an Xbox, because guess what? They are allowing you to take every single piece of accessory. And so when I buy my Xbox Series X, I'm done. I go home. While you buy your PlayStation 5, you will be buying a headset, which, take all that into consideration when people are talking about how much these consoles are going to cost. Out the gate, if they cost the exact same amount, Xbox Series X is cheaper because you don't have to buy a headset. So, I don't get, I'm one of those people, I don't get why people complain about a lot of things they complain about. We knew from day one, PlayStation said the PlayStation 4 will not work. Then when they said, hey, look, it'll work for backwards compatible, the people complaining should have been like, hey, you know what? At least they're giving us that. No, a lot of people are still complaining, and it's just like, why? They at least listened and said, hey, look, you can use it for your backwards compatible games. I don't get it. Some people just like to scream into the wind to see if they can overcome the wind. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. One, I'm not going to buy a PlayStation. I'm not a huge PlayStation fan. A lot of people know that. I like Xbox. I like PC. I have nothing against PlayStation. I'm glad people enjoy it. I am happy that there's games out there people enjoy. Enjoy what you got. You get a controller that's going to do a whole bunch of different things that's never done before. So be happy we're moving forward and not backwards.
You could use your DualShock 4 on your PC.
You can.
That's something, right?
You have to download an app to get it to work, but yeah.
That's something.
But you take your PlayStation 4 controller, use it on your PC, or guess what? Sell your Xbox to somebody besides GameStop and make $150 with all your controllers, or keep it and give it to your kid. Every time you buy a console, you have to realize whatever you're buying with it, you're not going to get full credit for it. So just realize that it is a money sink. That's what consoles are. They allow us to play for as many years as they'll let you play, enjoy it, and you're not really going to get all the money back, but you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So, if you're a controller collector, which I know many people that are, awesome. Those people don't trade in their controllers. They buy them to keep them, which is, awesome. I'm glad people do that. They enjoy it. But at the end of the day, you got to, be happy with what you got. 1 second.
Daz, you're a big PlayStation guy, right?
You're funny. You know I don't own a PlayStation. No, I don't understand why they don't make it compatible like Xbox have with everything else. So it's their bad at the end of the day, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And real quick, even though Forkboy left, I want to point something out, is that Forkboy doesn't own a PlayStation. So I'm just putting that out there. You can't come back and say, "Oh, he's a PlayStation fanboy, and that's why he said this." No, it's not true. Forkboy doesn't own a PlayStation. He just is going based on his years of experience of buying consoles and feels that it's really not that big of a deal. Assassin, how do you feel about this?
Frankly, I don't care except if I had like let's just say like the Astro PlayStation controller, right? Because that's like $200 or something like that. I wish it would carry over for a PS5 or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I have one PS4 controller. If I hand my PS4 and get a PS5, I'll have a PS5 controller. It's not a big deal. People are just making it a big deal. Um, yeah, it's really only a big deal if you have a really expensive controller or a bunch of controllers, and now you have to, now rebuy a bunch for your friends if they come over. But who does that these days?
Yeah, who needs friends at your house when you got friends online, right, Assassin?
Exactly.
Right. I agree, Clowns.
So I do want to point out some people may or may not know this, but when I did stream Final Fantasy 14, which was about, I don't know, Leo, 4 or 5 months ago, I wanted to play with my friends. Well, I was like, well, I want to play WoW. Well, let's play an MMO. Really want to play an MMO. The only MMO that we could really play, we tried Elder Scrolls. We didn't enjoy that. We tried Final Fantasy. Well, I enjoyed that, but they didn't have PCs at the time. So I went and got a whole bunch of PlayStation 4s. Leo already had one. I got Ghost one. I got me one. So we played PlayStation 4. I didn't enjoy it. That's my personal opinion. I didn't enjoy playing on it whatsoever. It was all right. I'm an Xbox guy. So yes, people that say that I've never owned a PlayStation 4, I've actually owned multiple PlayStation 4s. I was originally a PlayStation person, switched over to Xbox. I switched back and forth. I just enjoy Xbox better. I like the fact most of my friends are there. So, but enjoy what you play and where you play. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the games you play. Be glad we have games. We could still be playing Pong.
I mean, that is true, right? The little ball that blips across the screen and you just move a paddle up and down. The excitement as it goes across the screen.
I don't know how old Assassin is, but I know Daz about my age, Italian, you're about my age. We played on the fucking Atari, okay?
Yeah, we did.
Let me tell you, we're in a much better place, okay?
And for the record, Commodore 64 is the best fucking computer that was out.
Oh my gosh, dude! I remember getting Pong and playing it, and then my dad brought home River Raid, and my mind blew. I was like,
that was a good game. You had to get gas and all that as you,
Oh yeah, and then as you got further on, the levels kept getting faster and faster and faster, and it's like, oh my god, it's fun. It was a fun game, but I mean, look where we've come from. We came from that to this. We have games that are pushing reality. I mean, I know it's not a topic, but go look at the Cyberpunk video they released today. The game looks amazing. Be glad we have games like that coming out.
Even Dear God was a step up,
Yes, Clowns. The Dear God. Fucking classic.
God.
Assassin's Game of the Year.
Sass has got no say in this. Either that or just get off the stream and go play Chariot. You know what I mean?
No. Dear God, awful. Chariot, awful. It's all about Soda Drinker Pro.
Dear God for life.
All credit for this next topic goes to PC Gamer, okay? And allegedly, from what I read from different journalists, they weren't supposed to release this. This topic may have been under, NDA at the time that PC Gamer released it, but now it's out and open. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over Twitter that Twitch Prime is becoming Prime Gaming. It's a rebrand, but the pages are identical according to PC Gamer. Like, there's not many changes. Now, when I think about something like this, I think of one thing. I think that Amazon is a competitor to Apple, Google, and Microsoft. And I think that Amazon wants to lay, the future of cloud gaming on their platform. So I think in my head, when I think of Prime Gaming at this point, I'm thinking they're taking all the Twitch Prime games that you got for free and to your Prime Gaming catalog, and then eventually turn this into a cloud service. This is all speculation, all in my head, all rumors, but I predicted many things before, and this is what I think Amazon is going to do with this. Daz, I'm not sure if you care about Twitch Prime or Prime Gaming, but I was going to go to you real quick.
You know what my answer is going to be, Clowns? I couldn't give a flying fuck.
Assassin?
I would just I'm not going to do a selfless plug, but yeah, I don't know. I think Amazon does want to get more into the gaming industry. I think did they launch a game and then pull it, and then they had to delay a few games. So I think this is just the start of something new. And if you have that Twitch Prime, if you get a free sub, just throwing that out there. I stream on Twitch.
ZPCIAssassin, no spaces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, only for a month. Then you got to pay for it.
Assassin's, yeah, I guess shout out to Assassin's Twitch channel real quick. He's doing pretty good over there. You guys should check him out, twitch.tv/ZPCIAssassin, and his outro, he can tell you all about it again, so you don't forget. Forkboy, do you have any thoughts on this? Any speculation on why they might have done this?
I mean, to me, I think Twitch is going to stay where it's at. I think it's going to stay Twitch. It's always going to be Twitch. I think Prime Gaming, I think, is honestly going to be what a lot of us speculated privately and said out loud, is the fact that Amazon has servers that people use. So they already have the servers in place. It's just a matter of getting games in place that they make that they can then put out there and then let roll. And at the end of the day, Prime Gaming coming out is basically showing exactly what Phil Spencer said a while ago on the fact that, hey, look, I'm not worried about PlayStation. I'm worried about Google and I'm worried about Amazon. And some people took that as a dig at Sony, but it's like, look, Sony's a $80 billion, $90 billion company. Microsoft, Amazon, and all of them are $1 trillion companies. That's what he's worried about. When you have that much money behind you, you can develop more stuff. You can buy more studios. You can do a lot of things that allow you that PlayStation just can't. I mean, they can't go out and buy a $300 billion studio. It's not going to happen. But when you have places like Amazon and Google and other places like that, they can make very large deals. It's going to happen. So Prime Gaming coming out just confirms what a lot of us thought, that, yeah, they are in the market to actually be their own service. There's rumor about Apple wanting to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, look how much money Microsoft makes off Xbox Ultimate. I mean, they make a ton of money. And that money goes to other things, but when people look at that, they look at the fact of, hey, I want a piece of that pie. What do I got to do? And like, for example, I play World of Warcraft. There's like 4 million people that are active. 4 million people a month pay $15 a month. It's not hard to figure out that $60 million Blizzard makes. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm waiting to see what they do. I'm waiting to see how they work it. I'm waiting to see how a lot of things work. I'm waiting to see if they just pull Twitch over and Twitch gets enveloped by them, and it's just a one-stop shop where this is where you go for all your games. Kind of almost like an Xbox dashboard where you launch it up. You have Twitch right there. You have all your games right there. You have everything there, so you're good to go, and you can just play. It'd be cool. Be interesting, but like you said, it's all speculation right now, so...
Yeah, definitely all speculation. But like you alluded to, this was Microsoft's, Phil Spencer's biggest concern. And we've seen a little bit, between Apple and Microsoft right now, real quick, while we're on this topic. We've seen Apple not wanting xCloud on their App Store. Like, they're trying to give Microsoft a hard time, telling them, hey, every game needs to be individually reviewed. And then they really just don't want it on their App Store because Microsoft, like you alluded to, is a big competitor to Apple in the $1 trillion market. Do you have any thoughts on that real quick, Forkboy?
I mean, it annoys me. But with my work, I have to have an Apple phone, so I'm kind of stuck, and I really don't want to have to pay for another phone just so I can play cloud. Also, cloud's not something I really play a lot, so it doesn't affect me that much. But as a consumer, it bugs me the fact that Apple is so stubborn on the fact of, hey, look, we're going to have our own service, we're going to have our own stuff, that they pushed back as hard as they could to the point that Microsoft went to Samsung, and just Samsung's like, yep, come on, we'll take you. And I mean, people don't realize how big of a deal that is. Samsung makes phones, TVs. That's a big deal. Big deal. That's not just something you can strike off like, oh, it's not that. No, I mean, you're talking new TVs with Xbox Cloud service right there. You can stream it to your TV. You can do that's pretty massive. The fact of what Apple passed on, but like I said, Apple's working on their own thing. I mean, it's all about money, and it's all about a whole bunch of kids in the playground trying to see who can have the most friends.
Yep. Daz, any thoughts on the Microsoft and Apple argument back and forth over xCloud?
Samsung all the way, bro. I've already had a Samsung. iPhone's the shit. Touch them and the screen cracks anyway, so.
Daz just doesn't like Apple. That's what it sounds like. Daz, any thoughts on this?
Well, I don't like Apple as well, but it's stupid that Apple doesn't want something like xCloud on there, unless like people said that they'll be coming out with their own stuff, and they want that gaming money.
I think that Apple's arcade is nowhere near anything that Microsoft can accomplish with xCloud, and I don't know what Apple plans on developing in the future, but I kind of feel like that if Apple allowed xCloud, it would sell more iPhones. I really do. But who knows what Apple's got in the pipeline? I mean, $1 trillion companies, $1 trillion ideas. Some of them fail, some of them succeed, and they got the money to allow that to happen.
Hey, clowns! Before you go any further, Xbot in the chat just called me a dildo. At least I'm fucking useful.
Oh my god, guys. Oh my god.
So wait, I mean, yes and no, because I know many women that own more than one, because it may not be the one they want. So you may be the dildo that they bought, that they stored away because it's not what they thought it was.
It runs fine off drawer, so
it's like buyer's remorse.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard this. I know this is off topic, but there's a big thing going on right now where Wilmy jumped into a conversation and said he thought it would be funny, and he offered some type of incentive if Oh Snap It Smell tased Xbot, because they're together, boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance, whatever. I don't know the whole situation, but they live together, and she wants to tase him, and I'm all for that.
Fuck him up.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
Yeah,
I would watch.
I can see this. Yeah, my only worry is, does he have any heart conditions?
Oh, yep. You got the medical expertise there. Yep, I mean, that's true.
It's kind of like, it sounds like a great idea up until Xbot's in the hospital and on a breathing tube, and it's like, well, it was funny up until that point. I mean, my wife smacked me because I did something, and that shit hurt, and that's blown up. People are like, let's do it again. It's like, yeah, let's do it again. It's not going to have the same value, and it really did hurt.
Yeah, we all know what we all want to know what you did, Forkboy.
That is between me and my spouse.
Wow, Daz is trying to get into people's lives here. He wants to be the TMZ of the internet.
Hey, everyone wants to know why you got slapped, not just me, bro.
Oh, I've got multiple DMs, people asking me, and I just have said the same thing, that it's nothing as bad as what people think it is.
Xbot said if he gets tased, he's going to sue everyone. Xbot, I think you have too much sodium in your diet, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Salt over there, buddy. Wow, that was a good topic. Xbox is cracking me up in the chat right now. And then real quick, I mean, this is just a little bit of a tease right now. We don't know a whole lot, but Rocksteady Games, the people that make the Batman games, Assassin's favorite games, because he has Gotham, a city named Gotham in Wisconsin, I should say. Suicide Squad. And there's all speculation of what it's going to be about. Is it going to be like Suicide Squad in the Arkham universe? Is it going to be, specific characters? Are you going to be able to play a multitude of characters? And people were like all speculating because this was announced near the time that Avengers beta dropped, and everybody's getting all excited. I like Suicide Squad. I love Harley Quinn, and I really hope that they put her in the game. Like, if they didn't, I'd feel like it's not a true Suicide Squad game. But I want to go to the resident I don't give a beep. Daz, how do you feel about Suicide Squad?
I thought he was talking about Sass then. Look at him. I don't give a fuck, clown. It's like, yeah, as long as Harley Quinn's in it, yeah, then we're good.
If Harley Quinn's in it, then you care. Okay. Assassin, you are the Batman fan. You're almost, I'm like Batman, you're like Robin. You're a huge fan of Batman. I get it. So, what's your opinion on this?
I'm excited. I do like the games Rocksteady puts out. I don't know if it's true, but I heard it was like some multiplayer like type game, and that has me worried because like they haven't done something like that, and I'd rather have just like the single player type game. They do very well with in the past, especially like the last Batman game that they put out, Arkham Knight, was so good. So I would love like another game like that, but I know it's not Batman, so we won't. But I just hope it's single player.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I would hope there's a single player story to it at least, even if they add multiplayer to some things. So I agree with you there. I mean, I hope it's not going to be a direct copy of Avengers style or Anthem style. I hope it's going to be unique in its own type of work. Forkboy, any thoughts on the Suicide Squad? You a fan of Batman and Harley Quinn and all that kind of stuff?
I was a fan at a young age of Batman and Superman. Kind of fell off about the time that Superman died and they did Death for a Friend. And then about that same time, I moved over to Marvel and really dove deep into X-Men. And did that till about high school. And then I kind of fell off. Like me and Leo have talked back and forth. And I keep up a little bit, but for the most part, because of the different dimensions and all the stuff going on, it's just, I'm like, nope, I'm good. I can't even keep up. But I think the timing of this was excellent. I mean, you have a beta about to drop on something for Avengers, which is, Marvel, one of the biggest Marvel things going right now. I mean, anything Avengers sells like crazy because of the Avenger movies and all that. But for them to drop it when they did, honestly, it dropped hard. It's like, hey, look, by the way, we're going to put a target symbol Suicide Squad on Superman's head. Mind you, that could mean nothing about the game whatsoever, but Superman is massive. Superman is, indestructible. So for Suicide Squad to hunt him down, that's a huge thing. Leo had mentioned it when we were talking in our own chat about, which Superman is it? Is it the bad Superman? I mean, there's so many different Supermans. It could not be really, the Man of Steel that we all think it is. So it's excellent. I mean, it's all about advertising. It's all about, placement of your stuff and how it's going to work and everything. So to me, they did it right. They dropped it when they're supposed to, let people run with it. And I mean, for a little bit, people were running nuts on Twitter to where you didn't see Avengers a whole lot. So they dropped it just right. So, I mean, it's interesting. I know there's I only know a little bit about Suicide Squad. Leo and you and Assassins will know way more about it than I do. So to me, the only bad thing is a lot of people, the only thing they know about Suicide Squad is the movie, which I thought was okay. I didn't think it was great. And then when I talked to Leo and it was just not done very well as far as the comic book and everything, it's like, yep, that's usually how it's done. I mean, look at all the X-Men movies. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see what story they're going with. I'd like to see what exactly is happening. I'd like to see as far as like what's going to happen. Is it going to be like an Avengers base? Is it going to be MMO? What is it going to be exactly? To me, it has a lot of potential, but I've played a lot of other games that had a lot of potential that fell flat. So,
yeah, I hear your concerns on this. I see Leo in the chat said that he thinks it might be outside of the universe because Killer Croc isn't in the game. I didn't know that Killer Croc is not in this game. That's a big disappointment. Like, I'm a fan of, in general, of any type of lizard creature, alligators, crocodiles. So if Killer Croc's not in this game, it's a little bit more disappointing. But if Harley Quinn's in it, I mean, that'll make up for it. And Xbot said that Forkboy likes to dress up as Harley Quinn. Is that true?
We won't discuss that here.
On Sundays, shit, I wasn't supposed to say that. And the Xbox wants fucking Howard the Duck.
I mean, there was a Howard the Duck movie.
He wants
a game.
Yeah, he wants a Howard the Duck game.
Don't we have Leisure Suit Larry already? I mean,
Yeah, we
not
got
same
it.
thing.
No, it's not a duck. There's a duck game on Apple though. I can't remember the name of it, but you get to be a duck and drive tanks, and then it's like a platformer.
Hey,
So
there you go.
Xbot, you might want to get an Apple phone now. Ditch your
Yeah.
Android, get the Apple. Just won't be able to get on xCloud. We can play a duck game. So I mean, it kind of makes up for it.
There you go.
Always said Xbox were fucking quackers. Oh dear. Boom boom.
I mean, if you really want to set Leo off, you just need to say things about comic books that are totally false and just push him really hard. Like, you know.
Poor Leo. He probably gets picked on.
No, not really. He's a good comic book person. So anytime I have a question about a comic book, he starts telling me, and then I just stop listening because he goes down a rabbit hole that I'm like, you could have just said no. I'd have been good. I don't need to know. In this dimension, Deadpool comes in, and then he goes into this other dimension, and because they're in this other dimension, they kill Hulk Dimension 23. I'm like, what?
What?
There's a 23rd Hulk?
Well, I mean, did you know that Cable's from the future?
Yes, I know that.
You did know that?
Okay,
You know
come on. I'm an X-Men fan. I know that much.
Okay. That's good to hear. At least you know a little bit about the X-Men. How about Jubilee? You remember Jubilee, Gambit, Rogue? Is that when you read them?
Yes. The Uncanny X-Men.
That was the good old days.
Yes, that was the good old days. And hey, if you don't like reading comic books, and that's perfectly fine, if you really just like to watch TV shows, the Fox Uncanny X-Men cartoon was actually very accurate and pretty solid storyline as far as following the comic book. Shocking, coming from Fox, who never follows anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. And I think they're supposed to be trying to bring that back now. I think Disney Plus is trying to.
Disney Plus is trying to. It'd be interesting. I mean, I enjoyed it back in the day. I tried to get my kids to watch it, but because it's so old, they're like, this is horrible. I'm like, thanks. It's just my childhood.
Assassin, you ever watch the X-Men cartoon, or is that was before your time?
Too old for me.
Assassin, how old are you?
25.
I feel old.
Yeah, he was probably in diapers at the time. I think so. Well, before we get out of here and do our outros, Assassin, do you have any thoughts on Call of Duty's new season? I know Call of Duty is like your favorite thing.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think season 5, I think it's season 5, is very good. They actually did a lot of changes, good changes. Maps, well, except the new ground war map that needs a lot of work. No weapon balance until the next update, which is a joke because there's a lot of OP guns that could easily be nerfed. And I mean, there was a huge like Call of Duty thing going on today, revealing like the next, like in quotes, Call of Duty, like teasing it, and new stuff's coming out Friday for that as well. So I think it's a good time to be a COD gamer.
You know, I am a little disappointed about the rumors that this could be the last season for this COD, and that
but I mean, they want what Call of Duties to specifically in Warzone to be tied to each other. So if you have like another Modern Warfare season, because by the time this season ends, we'll have like a few weeks before supposedly the next Call of Duty is coming out. So what, you start another season, and then like 2 weeks later, Call of Duty 2020 comes out, and then they start a season, all that stuff. Like, it wouldn't make sense.
Well, our friend Yeti's in the chat, and for all you that don't know, Daz probably remembers this. Do you remember Yeti's nickname, Daz?
How old do you think I am?
What?
What?
Do you remember? Do you remember Yeti's nickname?
No.
Assassin, do you want to tell everybody, including Forkboy, Yeti's nickname?
Wasn't it like Mr. 460 because he dropped $460 in Call of Duty microtransactions in Call of Duty World War II?
For one gun, right?
Are you fucking
One gun that
serious?
he didn't even get.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're very serious. He really did that.
Like a few weeks later, they opened the collections and he could use his armory credits, which he earned just by playing the game.
It's people like him that keep Call of Duty in business, right?
Yeah.
And they make 3 million plus a day on just microtransactions alone. So,
Jeez, man. Well, I don't want to keep everybody here too long. We usually try to keep it to an hour. That has always been our goal since we started Four Guys with Quarters. Huge shout out to Technofabulous. Thank you for that $20 super chat. You are our first super chat person in history. And hopefully one day Yeti drops, even 0.0001% of the 460 to Assassin's future goals for his stream. So I'm going to start with our guest, the amazing Forkboy Gaming from Game Beyond the Box podcast. One of the coolest people on Twitter. Really good friends with him and Wilmy. Love everybody over there, and I got to get back into WoW with them. He really hooked me up with WoW too, so I really appreciate that. Forkboy, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at Forkboy_gaming on Twitter, and you can also find me at Wilmy Hood's YouTube page, Gaming Beyond the Box. We all stream there now. One spot shop, so you can see everything. Cloud streams there. I stream there. We have the podcast there. Wilmy streamed there a couple times, and we got some other stuff down the pipeline for you guys. So definitely tune in. We will be live here in about 43 minutes on there, playing some wonderful Wildlands that always goes bad. I mean, at this point, a year and a half of playing with Leo and Ghost, I'm still shocked they get in any helicopter with me.
Nice. Are you one of those people that just jump out?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like when I get to where I need to, I'm bailing. I don't say it. Leo, to this day, every now and then still is like, I didn't know we were jumping out. It's like, Leo, once we get to where we're going, I don't land unless, if you see the helicopter going down, then we're going to land. If it's not landing, I'm bailing.
Nice. Well, I got to check that out right after the show. I'm going to head over there and watch some of that. Daz, where can people find you?
In hospital. Nah, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter, UK Dazarus. I've actually got an appointment on the 13th to get a scan to make sure everything's alright, but yeah, I'm coming on well. So that's where you can find me.
That's
Cheers everyone for checking the show out. Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. Assassin, I know we gave you a plug a little bit earlier, but where can people find you?
find me at ZPCIAssassin on pretty much everything: Twitter, Xbox, Twitch. I'll be streaming over there in like 40 minutes. So that should be some fun times. And yeah, have that Twitch Prime and I haven't used it yet. Feel free to use it on my channel.
Nice. Okay. Well, I continue to do that every month, Assassin. I like to be one of the first founders on your channel, and I like to keep that up. And also, you can hydrate Assassin for 69 points on his channel credits, which you accrued just by watching him. So we all want to spam hydrate one day repeatedly to make sure that he stays hydrated, because we are worried about his hydration after playing Call of Duty and sweaty matches.
Yes, and everyone needs to donate more anti-fucking age cream to Sass as well, because there's no way he's 25. That's bullshit.
25. I was born in 94.
Real quick to Graphic God, where's the new logo, clowns? I had to redo shrink the layout real quick just for tonight's Discord. First time using Discord, but I'm gonna add it back in. I'm just gonna layer it over the old logo. So, yep, that's what we're gonna do. And you guys can find me at 2 different Twitters at 4GWQ Podcast and at ItalianClownz on almost everything. I've been trying to stream a little bit more. Thank you for everybody who's recently come by the channel and followed, and thank you, Indy, for subbing. I really appreciate that. And until next week, everybody, next week's guest might be Wilmy, if he doesn't have a job to do, but he said that he's going to try to be here, so try and make that happen, and look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Later, Pete.